Hi, this is Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about the 4 leaves of good luck. And I know I'm playing with the whole shamrock thing because it's just really fun. But there are kind of 4 ways to kind of look at luck. And I think a lot of times people look at luck in the wrong way. I know. So I think really a lot of times people consider good luck something that, like, you showed up at the grocery store and the person you wanted to talk to was right there. Oh, great. That's awesome. But it's not necessarily luck. It's more of a coincidence that y'all were both at the store at the same time, that sort of thing. But these are kind of some ones that you can really amplify or really should be thinking about very carefully, because it's really interesting to kind of be able to amp up your own good luck. And these may help you get a better idea of what luck means to you and how to make it better. So let's start with number 1. Everybody has a superstition about luck. People don't like the number 13. There are so many hotels and so many buildings that do not have a 13th floor. They just literally skip right over it. They go from 12 to 14 and just move on up the rail. Breaking a mirror brings 7 years bad luck. Ever heard of that one? That's a superstition. Having a black cat cross your path, or standing on a ladder and a black cat goes in. I mean, there are thousands of them, but I will tell you that kind of they're more distractions than anything else, because a lot of times it's someone else's idea of what a superstition should be. So if you're on a ladder and a black cat walks underneath it and nothing happens, your superstition is like fall apart. Like there's just nothing there. So it's just kind of one of those, like, think of it that way. Probably where this started is someone was up on a ladder and a black cat happened to walk underneath, didn't do anything about it, and they fell off the ladder. It's probably their own fault they fall off the ladder, because I tell you, most people fall off the ladder because it's their own fault. But that's kind of the weird, quirky part about this, is it's not necessarily something that someone did or didn't do, but it's one of those, something that you can kind of understand. So many times people will have interesting superstitions. I was talking to someone the other day, and when I was a kid, it was kind of a superstition. You were supposed to cross your fingers and cross your legs, I think, when you went over railroad tracks. I don't know where that one came from, but when you're driving in a car, going over, it's crazy. But I will tell you, a lot of times it's someone will have something happen, and because they didn't do it, something bad happened. And usually they're not related at all. They're not even in the same sphere. So it's kind of like, okay, think about that. The next one is perspective of luck. Kind of the best way to put this is when you have an outcome that is favorable to you or your side or the people that you love or whatever else, you're going to see that as very favorable. I got the last parking spot at the whole concert. Yay, that's favorable. It's good luck. But a lot of people talk about it in kind of the opposite way. Well, if I didn't get the last parking spot and I had to drive across town or across the street or whatever else and park over there, they would consider that unfavorable. But you never quite understand all of this. And I think that's one of those interesting parts, is it's just that person's perspective. If you were thought, oh, yay, I don't have to put my big vehicle in this little bitty tiny space that everybody's kind of encroached upon, and I can go across the street and get a nice big fluffy parking space and park my vehicle there and not have anybody bother me, that's okay. That to me sounds even better. But I will tell you, a lot of times it's literally your perspective of things. If you think it's better to park here than there, that's your perspective, and you got the last parking space, so you feel like it's luck. Kind of people that have like narrow escapes, like you barely missed an accident, like everybody else had an accident and you were able to swerve off to the side and get away. People think of that as luck, but it's really the perspective of the person who you like, or you know, or you're hearing it from, that sort of thing. Because someone else who might be in an accident go, hey, I was in the middle of the accident and all I got was a fender bender, so I'm really lucky. it's our perspective and our coincidences that kind of like give us the wrong thing. So it's kind of like, either was it the perfect place, not the perfect place, was it the right timing, was it the wrong timing? All of those have kind of influences of how we perceive luck. And a lot of times, what I think is interesting is, a lot of times people are like, oh, it's lucky that you got the last parking space here. It's so lucky that you got to park, here. But if you had parked across the street, maybe you would have been able to walk across and meet someone new or find your new love or whatever else. That's what I'm saying, is like, people always think of it as like, oh, this is lucky, but you never got a chance to open that other door. I know. I will tell you that a lot of times, like, people will debate kind of like from the perspective of like, what's good, what's bad. And it doesn't make any of it good or bad. It's how you perceive it. And if you think you have good luck, then you're going to have good luck. If you think it's good luck to get that last parking space, then that's good luck for you. If you thought it was good luck to be able to park across the street and walk over, then you're going to think that's good luck. And it's all about your perspective. Luck is all about the perspective of you or the people that you love or care about. So it's kind of like, okay, interesting. One of the things is, a lot of times, the third one is, luck is kind of seizing future opportunities. And so kind of the best one I would say with this is a quote by Thomas Jefferson is, I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have it. And so if you're prepared for what's about to happen, if you go into your boss and he's like, okay, it's your time to do a presentation, and you get in there and you do this great presentation and the customer loves it and they sign on the dotted line and they get a commission and you make a commission and all this kind of stuff. It's one of those, you think, wow, I had good luck today. No, you worked really hard to get that position. You worked really hard on that presentation. You worked really hard to figure out what the client wanted, and then you were able to sell them what they wanted. That's what I'm talking about. So it's one of those, a lot of times we create our own good luck. We create it. Lucky people kind of create their own luck. They kind of notice something, they act upon it, they take chances and opportunities in their lives. So it's one of those, that's just part of it. Like, people will really think like, oh my gosh, lucky people have this sixth sense, or their intuition or their gut feelings did it. No, a lot of times it's not necessarily that. It's just how you perceive it and what have you done in the past to get you ready for this future event. I know. Lucky people have expectations about the future. Like, people's expectations of like, what is going to happen next? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to give this presentation and the client is going to love it. Everything is going to flow into place and they're going to sign on the dotted line and the company is going to make money and I'm going to make a commission and I'm going to get to buy a boat or whatever it is. Like, you're going to get to do something. Yay, that's awesome. And a lot of that has to do with what you've done in the past to get ready for this current moment. What have you done in the past to get ready for this current moment coming up? People can really transform just their decision making from having bad luck to good luck. And it's all about your perception in this and kind of getting prepared. What have you prepared in the past to get you ready to move forward in this? And that positive attitude of everything is going to lead to success. Everything is going to come out perfectly. That's what we're talking about. It's kind of a great way to really think about it. But a lot of times people think, oh, they just lucked into this. No, they prepared for this in some other way. Maybe it's a class they took 5 or 10 years ago. Maybe it's a book they read 2 years ago. Maybe it's someone they talked to on the elevator yesterday that gave them this idea and they were kind of like, let me do a little research on this. And then today they get asked that question and they sound amazing. Luck had nothing to do with it. Their preparation had everything to do with it. I know. Kind of one of the things that's really interesting, my fourth one is separating kind of like the skill from the kind of the skill from like the success. It's one of those, if you have the skill, that you are going to find a way to show that off to somebody. If you have the skills, if you've done the work, if you've done all of this kind of stuff, Everything is going to flow perfectly for you to be in the right place at the right time, to get asked the right question that clicks in the right way in your mind, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then someone will go, I'm really lucky. No, everything worked out because your perception was in the right place, because your perspective was in the right place, because you were seizing already the opportunity before it even opened. Everything came together. Yes, and a lot of people are going to call that luck, but I will tell you it's more like a coincidence, and I call them creator events. It's one of those, all of these things had energy and ideas and that sort of thing to bring this to fruition. All of that came together at the same time to bring this to a great perspective. And the more you think of everything coming together, that's going to happen. And that's more of your positivity than anything else. If you're thinking positively in your mind, are you thinking positively in what's going on? I guarantee you everything is going to come together. If you think nothing ever works out for me, I do all this research and I do all this reading and nothing ever falls in my lap, then that's what you're going to get. It's more a perception of your energy than anything else. And so separating the skill from the energy is really important. And a lot of times people think of it as kind of like, oh, this person is really lucky and this person really did this really well. But I guarantee you most of the time it's a combination of so many things, and luck really didn't have anything to do with it. We're kind of just giving it the credit for it, but I guarantee you it had a lot to do with our creator energy and opening this up in a great way for you to have everything fall into place, kind of that God coincidence or creator events. Let's do some angel cards and get us a little bit more insight into our 4 phases or 4 leaves of good luck. This one is popping forward right here, and this is Taurus, and this is all about cultivating your mind on positivity, cultivating your thoughts on what you want to do, and thinking about where you want to be in your life in advance. What is the book you need to read? What is the class you need to take? All of that kind of stuff is going to really pop into that mind frame of what's coming up, where is it, and what's coming up next for you. And this is a really great one because your ideas are cultivating and opening up that ability. It's going to come to you. It really is. This is all about deliberated, and this is all about discomfort. Until you find discomfort in things that are going on and going, I'm willing to change, you're going to stay in the discomfort. You're going to stay in it because you're like, I'm going to deal with this. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to this. But as long as you're okay with the discomfort, you're going to stay there. Once you go, I'm tired of not having everything fall into place for me. All of those things, I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to look at luck differently. I'm going to change all of this. I'm going to do the things I know I'm supposed to be doing. Instead of binge watching movies all night, I'm going to read a book or take a class online or whatever else. Once you start changing everything else, it all comes together in an amazing way for us. This one is all about the 3rd house of communication. Your angels and guides are freaking communicating with you constantly. And that is a really great way to think about this, is they're communicating with you so that you have this great insight, that you have that kind of like inkling of, maybe I should read this book, or maybe I should do this, or maybe I should just really think that everything's going to work out in my favor. That's your angels and guides going, let's get this all going in the right direction. And once you do, everything else changes around you. This is the midhaven and this is the pinnacle. When things start coming together, it is all of the energy that you've put out into the world coming back to you. Everything that you've put out is coming back to you. And when it does, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even like more things coming together. And you're going to be like, yes, I'm ready for all of this amazing energy to come back and bless me in my life. That is the best way to think about luck, is that it is going to bless me in amazing ways and bless the people around me. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.